Over the past 16 years, I've been studying and mastering the law of attraction. But not only that, I've been able to create a lot of success for myself and been able to travel all over the world. I've been able to make multiple streams of income. I've been able to create time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. But not only that, I've been able to get my students and clients amazing results too.
I received $125,000 in unexpected money.
I'm not here to teach you manifestation because I don't manifest. Because at the highest vibrational frequency, manifestation doesn't actually exist. So the first thing I want to share with you is the Map of Consciousness by David R. Hawkins. If you look at the top of the Map of Consciousness on screen right now, you'll see that enlightenment is the top vibrational frequency. What we've got to realize is in this vibrational frequency, nothing and everything exist at the same time. And what I mean by that is everything is merged into one. Everything is just one. And so in this state, there is no such thing as manifestation. Manifestation doesn't exist in this state. If you're in a God state, or if you are God, do you need to manifest? No. If you are manifesting, you are back in the ego, you are back in the mind, you are back in the matrix, you are back in the illusion. Because everything that your brain knows now is a lie. If you choose to believe in yourself, you're lying to yourself, because in the word belief, we've got the word belie. And beliefs are essentially lies that we tell ourselves over and over and over again, and they become the truth, but they're not the real truth, right? They are constructs of our ego. And so manifestation, we can believe in manifestation, but manifestation is a lie. It's a concept. There is the law of manifestation, which is beyond positive thoughts and emotions, because a lot of people teach that you got to be positive all the time and you got to be in a good emotion, and that's going to raise your vibration, yada yada yada. I totally disagree with this concept. It's not the way and approach that I teach when it comes to the law of attraction, because there are many successful people who make a lot of money, who've traveled all over the world, who've done all these amazing things, and they feel like shit on the inside. They feel depressed, they feel anxiety, they feel fear, they feel all of these particular feelings and emotions, yet they're able to create a lot of success. Many people who become successful are actually hyper insecure. And that's why they create the success, because they want to become somebody in the world to get that validation and significance from the external world so that they feel good. Right? And so they chase after the success, they attain it, and then they're not happy completely, they're not fulfilled, because they haven't tapped into the truth. And the truth that they're really looking for is God. And we forget that God is in everything. So in the state of enlightenment, at the top of the map of consciousness, or otherwise known as God, as is, everything collapses into one. In fact, the top 4 emotions or vibrations at the top of the map of consciousness are spiritual emotions. Okay, they are spiritual states. That is enlightenment, peace, joy, and love. Right? It's where the yin and the yang have merged into one. And so what we got to realize is the mind creates narratives. We have a left brain and a right brain. We have yin and yang with the mind. We have the creative mind, and then we have the logical mind. Right? And when those two minds come together, we have is. So what we got to realize is that we are in an environment, we're in a world where we're so focused on being hyper masculine, and we forget about the feminine energy. Feminine energy is looked at as weak, as something that is supposed to be demised or looked down upon. Even with women are becoming more masculine over time, and we are messing with our energies. Even with the men, they're messing with the testosterone, with the plastic. Even like our clothes, it's got polyester, which is actually plastic. And so if you're wearing polyester boxers or underwear, and that's near your testicles, right? That's going to mess with your testosterone, okay? Cotton, bamboo, get these particular materials to wear for your underwear. Stop buying these designer Calvin Klein or whatever with plastics and whatever. I'm guilty of this stuff, right? And I've experienced the effects of these types of things, soy products and whatnot, which messes with our hormones. I'm not a dietitian or a doctor, and I know the dietitians in the comments are going to be like, yeah, soy doesn't do anything to your testosterone. Yeah, whatever. The point I'm making here is they mess with the feminine dynamic because they know the feminine energy is really powerful. They mess with the feminine dynamic because they know the feminine dynamic is very powerful, right? Negative is powerful. We have labeled negative something bad. Right? So we got the word negative, but we see negative as something bad. We have the By the way, it might look like I've got like a prison thing on my arm right now, but this is actually the Whoop, and the battery is on top, so I can actually take this off. You see, it's just a Whoop. It's just a fitness tracker. But yeah, anyway, we've got the word negative, and then on top of the word negative, we label it as something bad. Negative isn't bad, right? Within negative, we have polarity. We have good and bad. We have positive and negative within the negative. Also, on the other side of the spectrum, in positive, the positive charge, it can be negative and it can also be positive. Too much positivity can be bad. Too much negativity can be bad. But the thing is with negativity is what charges, right? But we need both together, right? We need the plus sign and the minus sign to come together and realize that we co-create reality with both sides, right? Male, female come together, they merge together, and what happens? It creates a new life, right? And so if we want to create a new life in terms of manifesting our reality, we have to realize that feminine energy and masculine energy need to come together. And so what does the law of attraction teach? What does manifestation teach? What have I learned over the past 16 years? That most people are focused on this mind narrative, focused on visualizing and affirmations and trying to reprogram the subconscious mind and trying to intend your reality and trying to think positive and trying to do all this stuff. And it keeps us stuck in the brain. It keeps us stuck in the illusion and disconnected from the body. We have a whole body, and the whole body is very powerful. Okay, and we want to tap into the body. In fact, one of the main things that we want to tap into in the body is the heart, because the heart is the first organ to grow in the body. Okay, I'm going to repeat that for the people in the back. The heart is the first organ to grow in the human body. And guess what? The heart is feminine. The brain is masculine. The driver of the ship is the brain, right? Is the brain. But the map is the heart, right? And we want to tap into that because there's knowledge in the heart. Okay. And in fact, there's 40,000 neurons in the heart. The heart is a separate brain from the brain. And it has, what was I going to say? It has its own memory. It has its own memory, separate from the brain. And when we can heal our hearts, and I'm talking about your physical heart here, not your heart chakra, it can radically transform your life and raise your vibration. I'm not talking about your emotional vibration, because so many people think raising your vibration is about emotion and feeling good. It's not about feeling good, right? Raising your vibration is not about feeling good. Feeling good is secondary to raising your vibration. You have a core frequency, point blank period. If you have a guitar, right, and the guitar is out of tune, it doesn't matter how good you feel, the guitar is not going to play good. It doesn't matter how much good of an expert you are at playing the guitar is going to be out of tune. It's not about feeling good. You want to tune your instrument to be in tune with the universe, with God, with truth. And once you are in tune or attuned to nature, to the vibrational frequency of God, then you are co-creating your reality with God, not against God. And I'm saying God here as if it's a separate thing, but it's actually not, because it's all just oneness. So like I said, the brain is the sailor of the ship. The heart is the boat, is the map. And they say, follow your heart, right? Learn it by heart. Heart is bliss, right? Right? Follow your bliss, sorry. And these things we just totally kind of brush over, we don't realize. But in actuality, when you look at the science, the electromagnetic energy from the heart is 60 times more powerful than the electromagnetic energy from the brain. And so why are we focused on the brain so much? Right? We're so focused on IQ, but we forget the EQ. Okay? Emotional intelligence. So I say all of that to say this, that the heart is the key manifester. If you're not able to receive, feminine is receiving. If you're not able to receive love, if you're not able to receive what you deserve, because this whole thing about feeling worthy and deserving of the thing that you want to manifest, right? Which is a whole narrative by itself, because you're back in the brain once again, right? You are love, you are receiving, you are everything. When you was a baby, you was like, do I deserve to be fed, right? You wasn't thinking these things because you was just pure unconditional love. And so when you step back into that energy, which is the truth, which is enlightenment, which is God, then you're able to just receive abundance because you're in the God frequency, right? You step back into the God frequency, isness, love, unconditional love, right? Which is the heart. In fact, the heart is in the middle between the top 3 chakras and the top lower chakras. It's in the middle. It's where the lower worlds and the higher worlds meet. And we don't recognize that this is the core manifester, attractor, because again, it is the feminine dynamic. It's what pulls stuff in. So this is why I say I don't manifest, because I don't need to manifest. At the highest vibrational frequency, everything just is. I think it is done. That's it. I think it is done. It's not, oh, I need to manifest and visualize and use all these techniques, right? I don't need to manifest if I'm a part of God. I don't need to manifest if I'm oneness, because everything is connected. I just choose and that's it. There's no trying to create my reality, because I understand on a quantum level, all realities exist now. Every single reality, every single version of myself exists right now. And I just need to choose the version of myself that I want to step into, or the reality that I want to step into, and that's it, right? And the key to this actually is becoming empty. Because on a quantum level, on a quantum level, what we have to realize is that when we are looking at things, right, when we are looking at reality, it acts and behaves in a certain way. Okay, electrons behave in a certain way when we are looking at them. Okay, however, when we are not looking at them, they behave in a different way. And it's crazy because they did an experiment where they actually recorded the particles, right? And they act and behaved in the way that they should behave, 2 + 2 = 4, right? However, when they kept the camera in the room and they turned off the recording, the particles acted in a different way, okay? They acted in a way where there's multiple realities happening all at once, okay? And this is called the split experiment. You can go look into it a little bit deeper. Maybe I'll create a separate video on it. Comment below if you want me to create that video. But essentially, they realize that when you are looking with your brain, ego, right, and you have beliefs, belies, things happen in a certain way. 2 + 2 = 4. But on that level, when you're not looking, 2 + 2 don't equal 4. And so in a state of enlightenment, you're not looking. When you become nothing, you are not looking. When you become empty, you are not looking, right? You're just seeing everything as is. There's no expectations. There's no goals. There's no manifesting. There's no creating. There's no belies or beliefs, right? And you're just is. So your goal, the goal that you want, just is. Whatever you want to manifest into your life just is. You don't need to go and get it or try to strive for it. And again, I can make a whole video on taking action and striving for things and hustle and grind and motivation, all that stuff, because discipline doesn't exist, motivation doesn't exist, your goals don't exist, all of this stuff doesn't exist, right? There's no such thing as taking action, right? And again, I can make a whole video on that. Comment below if you want me to make that video. But essentially what I'm saying here is become empty so you can become full, right? People want to manifest, right? But they're full. You're already full of stuff. Right? Thinking. You're already full of thinking and trying to manifest, trying to create and all this stuff. And you're not empty, right? If you want to attract stuff, right? Energy, the way it works, right, is it's only transferable, right? Energy can't be created or destroyed, right? And so if you're empty, you have to be filled, right? And so what you want to do is become empty so you can be filled. Right? If you're in a house and it's completely decorated, you've got all the furniture, everything's perfect, right? And you want new furniture, right? You want a new sofa, you want to redecorate the whole place, what do you have to do? You have to strip the walls, you have to get rid of the old furniture, you have to get rid of the stuff before you bring the new stuff in. Otherwise, you'll take up all the space, right? And that's what we're kind of doing. We've got all this old furniture in our bodies, these emotions, thoughts, whatever. And then we're trying to install these affirmations and visualizations and all this stuff. And I tell people, become empty, right? Deprogram before you reprogram. Let go before you let in, right? And so when you become empty, again, you can become full. And one of the ways that you can do that is by letting your emotions play and dance, letting your thoughts and emotions play and dance. I know that sounds crazy, but this is one of the biggest secrets that I can tell you, literally. Most people constrict, push away, avoid emotions, avoid their thoughts, right? And trying to push them away and trying to control them and try to think positive and trying to do all this stuff, in trying to be disciplined in your positive thinking, in trying to control yourself. You are trying to control, which means your hands are closed, your hands are not open, so you can't receive. Okay? If you're trying to control yourself, you're trying to control your emotions and all this stuff, you're not living. In order to be free, you have to let your emotions be free. You need to let your thoughts be completely free, completely do whatever they want. And you can tell them to you can instruct them to you can say, hey, have fun. Just like little kids in a playground. Go have fun, go play, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Doesn't matter how big the emotion is, how intense the emotion is, how small the emotion is. Doesn't matter. Let all of your emotions, let all of your thoughts play. Yeah, but Gavin, I got negative emotions. What if I attract something negative? And this is the narrative that people go into and the stories that they create. If you believe that, that is what you will see. Right? If you believe negative emotions attract negative things into your life, that is what you will see. Right? But if you're aware, if you're in awareness, if you're in God level awareness, if you're in the God frequency and you are aware of the negative emotion, right? Then it's no longer a negative emotion because there's no label. If you're in the God frequency, you're not labeling something as a negative emotion. It just is. And you realize that there's a yin and yang in the positive and in the negative, right? Negative can be good. I'll give you an example, right? You go through a challenging experience in a relationship. You learn something from that relationship, even though it was negative. So it was also positive too, that you learned something from it, right? So negative can be positive and negative, right? The same as positive, right? You have a positive experience, or for example, people can become delusional and being positive, right? Where they're just like in the clouds, people go on X Factor, Pop Idol, all these shows, and they can't even sing. They don't even have a talent, and they're so thinking positive that is leading to something negative, right? And so on both polarities, there's also positive and negative. So what we want to do is just be aware of all of that and putting no labels on anything, not judging anything, not putting a label on it, not putting a narrative on it, not putting a story behind it. No story behind your thoughts and emotions. They just are, right? And when they just are, when they just is, you are free. Okay, and most people are looking for time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. But what about your personal freedom? This is how you create personal freedom, and you become more and more in a state of enlightenment, samadhi, isness, God, nirvana, right? Non-duality. And now you just see everything as is, as now, as one. It's easier said than done, right? It's a practice. But your goals just is. The things you want to manifest just is. We put too much importance on the external world, trying to manifest a relationship, trying to manifest a specific person, trying to manifest more money, trying to manifest more success. All of this stuff is meaningless. Doesn't mean anything without God, without the truth, without you stepping back into this oneness. The material world's got you hooked onto it, and you're hooked into it, just like Neo in the Matrix with the plug in the back of his neck, hooked into the Matrix. Why would you want to be hooked into the Matrix, right? You need to come back to the truth. And in the movie The Matrix, right, he gets unhooked. And where does he go back to? Zion. Zion is the truth, is God, is the isness, seeing what it is for what it is. And guess what? When you get into this state of enlightenment, you will start to realize that there are goals beyond your ego, right? And I call that manifesting the goals you set before you came here. In fact, I got a whole program around this and stepping into this awakened state, the link will be in the description where you can go ahead and check that out. And I'm taking people for a 6-month process to get to a states of enlightenment, being able to manifest in this way, manifesting from the truth, not from the lie. Everything in the external world is a lie. Why would we want to manifest from it? It's my advice that you don't listen to people that don't refer back to God or truth or some sort of higher power. Because if they're just teaching law of attraction, manifesting, they are projecting you into the illusion, into the matrix more and more, getting you deeper into the matrix. And we become lost souls, right? There's a song by Danit, Danit, right? And it's called Heartbeat. And she has a lyric in that song. She says, if you seek, you won't find. Seeking makes human hearts blind, right? Seeking makes human hearts blind, right? And so why would you seek if you are God? Right? It's crazy. The song is called Heartbeat, right? Which is what I'm talking about, manifesting from the heart, right? But people are too afraid to surrender control. You see, they want to control because the ego wants to maintain control. The ego doesn't want to lose. Everything I'm saying, your ego might rub against it. You know, your ego might be like, but no, like, but how? But you know, and so we gotta realize this, that the ego is going to keep us trapped in the illusion, in the matrix. But there are goals that you set before you came here. And when you get into those enlightened states, when you get into those vibrational frequencies, things come to you and through you. They come through you. Crown chakra, down. Most people are manifesting from the bottom up. They're manifesting from the material world. They're manifesting based on the root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, right? The lower world. What we've been taught from this reality, right? And money and success and all this stuff. And so we see from the external world, we learn all this information about the world, and then we start desiring. And if we look at the map of consciousness, desire is a low vibrational frequency on the map of consciousness. I don't desire anything. I don't need to desire because I have everything, right? I'm in the oneness. And so we have to see that these lower chakras, and I'm not labeling them something bad, just to be very clear, is that we are stuck in manifesting in that way. It's like, how do I take what I'm learning from the external world and try and manifest it, you know, try and bring it up and manifest it, when there's already stuff here, like, and it can come through you, in through your crown chakra into your third eye, and you can visualize it, right? Crown chakra come into from spirit, from source, from truth into the crown chakra, then you can see it in your mind's eye, right? If you can activate that. Or you can interpret it in a different way depending on what your abilities are. And everybody has abilities, right? Claircognizant, clairvoyant, clairsentient, right? Clairaudient. You have different ways of interpreting that, and you can see it through your third eye, right? And through your third eye, you can speak it into existence. Okay, I'm going to go for that, right? Bring it down into your heart, right? Which is the receiver, right? The main manifester, right? And allow that to transmute now, adding that unconditional love energy and transmute down into the solar plexus, add that, I guess, sense of knowing, right? So beyond confidence in the solar plexus and self-power, empowerment, personal power is knowing, right? The solar plexus is knowing, right? Ego, knowing with the mind, right? And then down into the sacral chakra, let's add that sexual energy to it, right? Because we're starting to birth it into reality, where it's in the womb now. It's in the womb, right? And it's starting to build, and then the root chakra, we birth it into this reality. Does that make sense? So anyway, like, I got a whole program, and I take you through the process of manifesting, right? Over the course of 6 months, I do weekly calls and stuff like that. You can go check it out. Links in the description. See you in the next video. Peace.